All right, welcome to another High School Principal Reacts. My name is Brandon. I'm a high school principal from Georgia, and today we're going to be looking at the new version of Saved by the Bell from 2020. Now, I've not seen this before. I do remember vividly seeing the 90s version of Saved by the Bell. I have not seen this new one before. I know the basics. I know Zach Morris, who was kind of the main character from the old 90s version, is now the governor of California and is having to make some tough decisions that impacts some schools where these new characters will be. So let's get into it.
As governor, my husband had to cut $10 billion in education spending. And yes, that led
10 billion. Yeah, that's a chunk.
to some school closures. But it also led to reduced loan rates for small businesses and a bailout for the fossil fuel industry. And as a busy mom, that's important to me. Wait, Zach, I can't say that.
But I believe Republican.
Yeah, I can see some problems with that statement, at least from a communications point of view.
School should be an awesome experience, a time for kids to evade math homework and torment their principal with no consequences. That's what I had, and what I'm fighting for every student in California. We will figure this out together. I'm Governor Zach, and I approve this message.
Hey, I figured it out. How about give us the $10 billion back?
Wow, Daisha. It's like he doesn't get how crappy half the schools in California are. What world is he living in?
Yeah, and the truth is a lot of our funding comes from state governments for schools. You do get a variety of different funding sources, the federal government, the state, and your local tax dollars, but a lot of it does come from the state. So if they cut funding to education statewide, the local districts do feel the effect of that. So that is that part of it, at least, is very accurate.
We're climbing the rope in gym today.
Oh, I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Back, Morris, did you flood the gym again? The volleyball team floated away. Linda, call the Coast Guard.
Sorry, Principal Todman.
No. So yes, if he did that in real life, he would probably be kicked out of the whole school or placed in some alternative program of some sort. Yeah, that'd be a pretty serious deal. He wouldn't just run away saying, call the Coast Guard. Yeah.
That's why I'm running for this year's sophomore class president. Because it's not too late for Douglas High. It's not too late for any of us.
Sorry, kids. School shut down.
What?
Wow, they're shutting down the school.
Yeah, unfortunately, this isn't a high school anymore. I mean, the state will probably rent it out. So TV shows about high schools can shoot here, but it's not an actual high school anymore. No need to panic. You can learn everything you need on the internet.
Yeah, so a few things here. Schools do shut down from time to time, even outside of something like budget cuts. More commonly, a school building just simply gets old, and once it reaches a certain age, the decision is made to build a new one or consolidate two older schools into one larger, brand new school building. Is far more common a scenario, but these things are planned years in advance. You don't just while school's in session, you have some random guy walking in saying, hey, the school's closed now, by the way. No, people would be talking about this at least a year or two in advance, planning it out. And what he said about, well, they'll probably shoot TV shows about high school here. That does happen from time to time. I've even served at a school where, very commonly, just because of the look of the school and the historic nature of the school, people would come in and want to film there, movies, TV shows, and we allowed them to do that. They typically would come in after school when no one's there. It was kind of humorous because the film producers would put up, fake announcements and things like that. I remember one time seeing walking in one morning and seeing an ad about a falconry club. And I'm like, we do not have falconry at this school. It was pretty funny.
Take it off. No. Watch your step.
They just start moving furniture.
You have provided no plan for the students affected by your disastrous education cuts.
That is a great point. Thank you.
Where do you propose these students go? To other underfunded schools that don't have the resources to handle the kids they already have?
Maybe they should go there. Maybe the students whose schools you close should be sent to schools in high property tax areas like Bayside.
Wow. It's a little more complicated than that.
That's actually a great idea.
Is it? Sounds really fair. Maybe you should be the governor.
Me? Yeah, right.
And, this is a reality that happens in larger school districts where, some people feel that certain schools are given more opportunities or less opportunities and have more or less access to resources and fight about, which students can go to which schools. Typically, a larger district will have a certain attendance zone. If you live in a certain place, you attend a certain school determined by your address. Other school districts have made it a little more fluid where you have more choice as far as where your student goes to school. But these conversations do happen in real life.
So you're saying my daughter's going to have to take a 2-hour bus ride just to get to school every morning?
Yes, but I'm told the buses will be equipped with a modest selection of discarded magazines.
No, no discarded magazines, but busing long distances sometimes does happen, particularly if you are in a larger school district and you live in one attendance zone and you want your child to go to another, a better school or a school that has some sort of special program. I did see this in a previous school district of mine where some students, they chose to do it, but they had to ride on the bus for a long period of time, not 2 hours, but more than 1 hour in some cases. And that's unfortunate, but it was because students, were not happy with their current school and were accepted into some special program at another school, and the school district allowed them to, ride the bus over there.
How can we be sure that Bayside is going to be a safe, welcoming environment for our kids?
It'll be fine. Who doesn't love kids?
They gather together. They loiter. I'm just saying, how do we know we can trust them?
Look, these concerns about a criminal element are unwarranted and offensive.
Yeah, they are, or unwarranted and offensive. This situation is being a little bit exaggerated, or I would say a lot exaggerated, but these conversations do happen when schools either there's attendance zones change or schools consolidate and certain populations don't quite get along with each other. These things do happen in real life. And so it's up to the leaders of the school district and the school to make sure that the focus is on learning and that they can improve the school culture and make sure that their goals are not changed and that learning still happens.
I get it. As many of you know, my son Jamie is a student here as well. Of course, I want what's best for him, but the Douglas students' parents feel the same. And that's why I've devised a system to help ease the transition. Each new student will be paired with a current student or Bayside buddy to help them acclimate.
Hey, nice.
Okay, so he's the football coach now, I guess.
Here comes Ron. What's up, Ron?
I'll tell you what's up, Slater. These parents are driving me crazy. Why is everything my fault? Don't they know I'm
That's the first rule of leadership. Everything is your fault. That's the reality. You are ultimately responsible as principal. So there's some truth to that there.
Volleyball resort sand. No cap. There's more people signed up for the artisanal bath bomb club than football.
Did someone say football?
Oh yeah. He just said the word football and the coach snuck up behind or he popped out of nowhere and said, did someone say football? There's some truth to that. Football coaches, just like all coaches and sponsors of different clubs, they're always, looking to recruit people to participate in whatever it is they're doing. And football is certainly no exception. That's funny.
We all want these new kids to feel welcome and succeed at Bayside, but it's not going to work if we don't get to know them and not just their names.
Yeah, because I definitely knew his name.
How they feel, what they think. We have to stop trying to get through to them and let them get through to us. It's our job to make space for every kid at Bayside so they become a healthy and mature adult.
Hey, I know they're kind of poking fun a little bit and exaggerating, but there is some truth to that. I mean, you do want to get to know students and get to know even their interests and things about them personally so that you can adapt to their own learning styles and help them to really be successful at your school. So It's not, I don't hate that.
Attention, please. It is now time to hear from our candidates for sophomore class president. Mr. Morris, would you like to begin?
Yeah, I've never had it where they kind of campaign over the PA system like this, but I have seen some other crazy campaigning. I mentioned this in my Napoleon Dynamite reaction video. All sorts of shenanigans and gift giving to try and get people to vote for them for class president.
Good morning, Bayside. I'm Mac Morris, and I believe in the power of a good idea. Like my idea that teachers should randomly give you Fs for no reason. And that we should get rid of school dances and use that money to plant a weird tree.
A weird tree.
Wait, is he trying to lose?
Yeah, I think he is trying to lose. Let's see what she says.
And now for our next presidential candidate, Daisy.
Hi, Bayside. I'm Daisy, and I promised to get Lizzo to perform at prom, and the theme will be everybody gets $50.
I don't know who this Daisy girl is, but she sounds great.
Okay, wait, you're lying.
Yeah, and you know, people do this. I've seen this before where people make unfulfillable promises, but most of the time it's just gift giving. Hey, let me bring a lot of food and cake and gifts and just give it to everybody if they promise to vote for me, is a little more typical.
All right, everybody, line up.
Hold up, Coach. I think we got one more coming.
Hey, Coach.
Yeah, and just a quick word about this. It is true that if you do not have a boys and girls version of a particular sport, football being one of the prime examples, you cannot prohibit a player from playing. Another one that comes up often is baseball and softball. I was at a school one time where they didn't have a softball team, and there was a girl that wanted to play baseball, and she tried out and she made the team, and she was, I think, one of the best players on that team. So this does come up from time to time, but schools do have to allow that.
What's up?
Okay, so that's what he ended up wanting to do.
And I'm here to audition for the musical.
Okay, whenever you are ready.
I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and leave it right there. I actually enjoyed this. I have not seen any more of the episodes. If you'd like me to review any other episodes from the series, a particular one, please let me know in the comments. I did quite enjoy this one. I'll have to check out a few more of them. If you're enjoying the series, please consider subscribing to the channel and click here if you'd like to see one of my other reaction videos. I'll see you next time on High School Principal Reacts. Thanks for watching.